Back in October 2019, I discovered indoor cycling and running. I was in terrible shape and to be honest, my fitness was useless. But it turned out I loved indoor training. 11 months on, I've dropped about 30 kilos and I'm feeling pretty strong and fast. But I need a new challenge. So, in a year, could I win something? Could I get first place in a proper real life sporting event? And Zwift doesn't count for this one. I don't know what discipline it will come in, but on this channel, I'll share the highs, the lows, and the broken bones as I attempt to sit on the top step of the podium for the very first time. But what's today's episode about?
So today's episode is about testing out how my collarbone is holding up. It's 12 days now since I came off mountain biking on some slippery chalk and did a bit of damage to my shoulder right as I was about to start doing my first few outdoor races, which is pretty annoying. I've been hitting it on the turbo and been in pretty good shape. It's not been hurting too much, but obviously it's quite different on a static bike compared to, you know, a moving proper bike. So we're going to give that a go. It's also my first time with a head unit as well. I've only ever used GPS on my Apple Watch and my iPhone, so I'm going to be using my Wahoo Element Bolt. Use that to track, see how we're getting on, and yeah, we'll see if I come back in loads of pain and it sets me back loads, or whether it's healing up well and, you know, we can ride outside some more. I don't think we're going to be mountain biking anytime soon, but the road bike does feel like we're not too far away from being able to give that a go.
So I'm about to head out. Like I say, 12 days since I slipped over and broke my collarbone. I've been on the turbo nearly every day, bar the couple that immediately afterwards. So I've got a good sense that like the fitness is still there, but it's going to be interesting to see, yeah, how uncomfortable it is, or just how weird it might well feel. But yeah, we'll see. We're going out to South Downs Bikes out in Storrington. I'm going to try and size up potentially a new bike that I might be getting out there. So we'll see how we get on.
Blurry up here, so we're at...
Yeah, it was really windy at the top of Titch Hill. Basically, what I was saying there is that I'd ridden up Titch Hill, which was the first proper climb of the day. It's the reverse of the way up Stenning Bostel. Stenning Bostel's where the hill climbs are that we've got coming up. There's the Sussex CA one and the Brighton Mitre one, which are early and late October, so hopefully we'll be in a good place for them. But yeah, it wasn't too bad. Collarbone all feeling good.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, if it had been like that and I hadn't done a collarbone, you wouldn't have even noticed it, to be honest. But you are a little bit reticent, and it's hard to Zwift makes you want to go up everything fast. So just got to be going out slow is something I've quite got used to. But we'll descend this now and head across to South Downs Bikes. See, they meant to have a Trek Domain in my size, which probably isn't what I'm going to buy, but should be the right size to see if the Emonda will be the right size. So yeah, we'll give that a go.
Well, most of the riding today actually wasn't too bad at all. I sort of thought that climbing up the hills on the shoulder might be tricky, maybe kind of powering along in the drops. That was not a problem at all. It was actually more the descending. So as we went down this hill, which is the down of Stenning Bostel, I was really a bit sheepish. I'm not the bravest descender on that particular route at the best of times, and I'm hoping a new bike with disc brakes will sort of help on that front as well. But yeah, I was going down this really slow. I sped the video up here rather than suddenly got really brave and started descending at a much faster pace. My little route took me through Stenning and Storrington, two really nice West Sussex villages with some really nice pubs. So yeah, if you're looking for somewhere villagey for a good Sunday roast, definitely worth checking those two places out. after visiting the bike shop, I sort of turned back round, and rather than completely retracing my routes, there was a way I could have gone out via Arundel, but it would have had quite a bit of time. It would have been late for dinner and all that sort of stuff. I didn't really want to push it on the first ride back, so came back on the A24, which is a quite fast dual carriageway. Never normally go that way, but I'm quite conscious that some of the 10-mile TTs that Worthing Excelsior, who I'm now a member of, put on, are on that route. So felt maybe it was a good chance to give it a bit of a drive and a ride on it and see how it was with the traffic. And interestingly, actually, because it was a dual carriageway, in some ways it was better than some of the quieter roads I was on, because the drivers actually had plenty of space to get past. So if I ever do go down that route of proper time trialling, maybe it isn't quite as daunting and scary as I probably thought it would be. I'm back, all seemed to go quite well. Nipped into Southdown Bikes. They had a Trek Domain, I think it is, or a Domine, or I don't know how you say it, in a 52. I felt it was alright, but the guy in there thought it might be a bit too big, which probably means if I do want to get an E-Monda, which is one of the bikes I'm looking at, I probably need to get in a 50, which is good news because apparently the 50s are easy to get hold of rather than the 52, but I kind of have my eyes on Alice Sprint, Specialised Alice Sprint, an aluminium one. Apparently they don't come in until February next year, so all a little bit back to the drawing board on that. But the key thing is collarbone's feeling really good. It was about 22 miles, all quite sedate. I did have a quick spin up a local sort of 30-second climb called Surgery Smash in Findon Valley. I matched my best time up there, which is 32 seconds. Couldn't get the Wahoo Live segments to work. I reckon I probably could have got at least a second off that if I'd have had that kind of, you know, countdown thing going on. So yeah, all in all, quite good. So yeah, we've got a sort of slightly crazy week coming up, in as much as there's 3 possible mountain stages on the RGT Vive la France series that I've been competing in. I've only been doing the mountain stages. A lot of people have been doing the kind of multiple, the flat stages and the hilly stages, as they call it. I'm doing okay in the points classifications there, but the general classification, really strong people there, the proper A pluses. The semi-pros are absolutely rinsing, so I don't know whether I'm going to follow through and do the whole series. But there's meant to be one of those tomorrow. I probably will do tomorrow's one. And then 2 later in the week. One on Sunday, which is the big one, stage 15. They're calling it like the Queen stage of this tour. It's Telegraph and Galibier, but I want to do the club run. So we'll see what happens on that front there. But yeah, the good news is, looks like I'm right outside. I'll be doing a bit more on Zwift over the next couple of days because I don't want to risk it too much and give the collarbone a decent chance to recover. Because obviously, as you're stabilising and riding and steering, it's kind of putting a little bit more pressure on it than it would be if you're just sat on the turf. But to be honest, I didn't feel any discomfort at all. So that's reassuring. So yeah, I'm at the fracture clinic on Friday, get another x-ray, and we'll see what happens. But it is looking good for the hill climbs. I've got entered on like the 18th and 19th of October. One's in Chichester, one's in the Surrey Hills, so Knights Hill and Leaf Hill. So I'm hoping I'll be alright for those. Whether I'll be as strong as I would have been if I'd have had a perfect lead in is probably not the case, but hey, it'd be good to get the first race actually done, set yourself a benchmark, and then, you know, maybe move on to the Stenning Bostel ones, which hopefully I will be in a better place for. And sort of generally this year it's mostly about having a go, getting used to some competitions, and seeing how we get on. To be honest, I think longest competitions are going to be better for me. I don't think I've got the pure VO2 power to do really well on hill climbs, but I am quite light, so there's kind of some benefits there. But yeah, we'll see. It is all looking quite positive, which is all we can ask for most of the time.